Stitch coming.
Word of Allah, because the word of Allah is an attribute of Allah.
Man, watching you struggle with this for 3 long videos, was painful. It felt like an eternity, actually. And the reason you're struggling, and I get why you're struggling, is because you're projecting. You're projecting your own theology and your own problems onto Islam, and that's where you're really having the problem. See, in Christianity, you believe that Jesus is the Word of God, the eternal Word of God, the begotten eternally Word of God. And therefore, God has to continuously be speaking and begetting Jesus. But then Jesus came into human form. And how did Jesus, who is the Word of God, who is eternal, become this created form? See, this is a you problem. The Quran is nothing like that. In Islam, the attributes of God, in the sense that His ability to speak the words of God, to speak His own words, that's eternal. But the words themselves that He spoke are not eternal. The Torah isn't eternal. It didn't continuously be revealed or spoken by God. It's not a continuous thing. There's a time when it started being revealed and it ended. Same thing applies to the Quran. It started and it ended. But that doesn't mean it's created by God. It's His words. It's what He spoke. So the concept that we have to somehow explain how if it's not created, therefore it must be eternal, that's a you problem. Because your philosophers insisted that Jesus being the Word of God meant that He was eternally being begotten. That's your problem. The other thing is, you have to deal with, how does that Word become flesh? In Christianity, that's a problem. How does the eternal, non-created Word of God become a created thing made of flesh and bone? Yeah, that's a problem. Saying that Jesus is entirely man and entirely God, that's a you problem. Not for us, though. The Quran is not the ink and paper that it's written on. The Quran is written using the ink on the paper. The Quran is the words themselves. No scholar ever said that the book, the physical copy book that we carry, or the USB that it's on, is the actual Quran. Nobody said that ever. As for the Mu'tazila, who said that the Quran is created, the reason they fell into that trap was because they started agreeing with your philosophers. The Greeks and Romans that they dealt with, they had to respond to them using their philosophy. And they didn't realize that Islam doesn't say any of that. Islam gives the clear explanation. So, yeah, this is a you problem, not an us problem. Okay?